that sounds good. My standing thing was a success Sunday night. Wasn't a lot of people that showed up, but for those who did, I think they enjoyed it, liked it.
Excellent. All right, I want to hear about it. Let's start first. So let's take a bow. And feet shoulder width apart. Shoulders relaxed. Hips are slightly tucked. Knees are bent. Neck is long. So owl gaze is backwards. Hands are flat. Look over the shoulder. And back. And other side. Oh. Oh. Oh, back to center. Swimming dragons. Oh. Now separating the hands just nice and soft. We're not stretching yet. Let the hands just float. Both arms at the bottom, at the belly, then rise up, and to the side. Oh. And again. And reverse the hands. So it's gather and bring to the lower dantian. All right, back to center. Now separating heaven and earth, so now this is a stretch. And back to center. So palms in opposite directions. And stretch. Oh, and back to center. Bend forward. So knees bent, but we straighten the legs and then roll down. Oh. Relax the neck and shoulders. And come back up. Unrolling the spine, hands on kidneys, lean back. And back to center. These are bent. And then inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, roll down. Oh. Keep breathing. Come back up. Slowly unrolling the spine, hands on kidneys, lean back. And back to center. Knees bent, hips tucked. And again, so straighten the legs. Oh, roll down. And come back up. Straighten the spine, hands on kidneys, lean back. And back to center. Oh. And one last time. Bring from foot to foot, so gently swinging the hips, so straighten the legs. And exhale, roll down. And gently swing from foot to foot. Oh. And back to center. And come back. And hands on kidneys, lean back. And back to center. Knees bent. Now carry the tiger. So from here, reach up and stretch. Drop the arms. Open the chest. Rotate the shoulders. Squat. Come back up. Hands. And again. One more. basic posture. Knees are bent, hips are tucked, shoulders relaxed. Neck is lengthened. Breath is in the belly. And drop. And cow gazing at the moon. Palms out. Twist. Look through the hands. Oh. And shift to the side. Oh. Shift. Oh. Oh. Oh, back to center. 9 ghosts drawing swords. Right arm up and elbow to knee. And come back up. Twist. Oh. Back to center. Switch hands. Oh, and elbow to knee. Oh. Oh. Oh, and back to center. And horse stance. So again, the high horse stance, mostly focusing on the structure of the hips, rounding the hips. The hips are tucked, finding that comfortable structure where it's the bone structure, the open hips that is supporting you, not necessarily the thigh muscles. And now drawing the bow, so hands are in front. Make a loose fist with one, talisman with the other hand, and pull the bow and release. Other side, look in the direction of the talisman. Start the point again and release. Oh. 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 And then drop. And stay in that position. Make sure you release Just take a second to just release as many muscles as you can. Right? So this is the proper position. Hips are tucked, back is rounded. You feel like you could just stand here. And release your buttocks. And really feel the opening in the hips. All right, walk the feet in. Now play the peep up. So shift and turn, keeping your weight on the rear leg. Forehead to the knee. And sweep up. And drop. Hands and feet. Other side. And oh. 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 Back to center. Horse stance. Now we deep squat. Push the knees apart. Stretch the inner thighs. Now sitting up, bear shaking its tail. So from here, twist, turn to the right, sweep to the left, look over the left shoulder, and back. And oh. Back to center. Squat. And shift. And shift. Toes up. And shift. And back to front. Walk the feet in. All right. So let's do horizontal arm sweeps from the push and warm-ups. Right. So sitting down, sitting on the back foot, No weight on the front foot. Pivoting on the ball of the foot. Heel turns. Knee is bending in line with the foot. So it's the hip that's engaged. We just want to just loosen things up. All right. It's a nice way to actually do strengthening exercises for the legs, but also a nice way to shake things up, loosen everything, and just relax. All right, switch legs. Same thing on the other side. And sitting down, open your hips. Keeping nice and vertical so you're not drooping forward. The spine is nice and long and elevated. Neck is long. The leg is doing all the work. All right. And one last thing we've done before, the rising on the toes and dropping on the heel. All right. The good thing is with all of this is you can always adjust your the warm-ups and the exercises based on how you feel that morning. So if you need a little more shaking and loosening, if you're already warm, you can shorten everything. So, let's continue. Let's do the 13 postures. Like before, we'll do them nice and soft and slow. You can release the arms, so give yourself permission to not be perfect with the arms, so that your focus can be more on the three dantian, like I mentioned before, like the three dantians being hanging from a string. So nice and vertical, nice and open, and it's that center moving through space. So the feet underneath to support you. So you can actually go smaller and softer, right? As long as you're making it a conscious choice, so that even in brush knee, you can do a brush knee that's just regular. Right? You don't have to do the full big squat. As long as when you're making that choice, you're doing it for a purpose. So for example, here, if I want to be more conscious of how the whole thing rotates, right? So how I'm bringing my entire center line to shift, face this way, and then shift, face that way. Right? And really being conscious of that movement through space, that rotation through space. Same with play the pipa. If I really want to play with the feeling of rotation through space as brought by a leg and a hip joint, then I don't need to invest as much in the deep steps or the precise like drawing in. I can just play with just those sensations. And that will be correct as long as that's a choice. So you know that you're sacrificing precision in order to focus on the different aspect, right? So this is the permission I give you. All right, so let's try. We'll do 13 postures. Again, slow, soft, rounded, right? Explore more movement through space. Movement of the core through space. So, feet together, toes together. Find your vertical. And Haw. 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 Oh. 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 Tiger. Together, hands on the belly. And cool down. All right. So this is where you can see how the practice of the form itself can be a meditation, can be also a qigong exercise. If you simply shift where your intent is, it's important to have the applications and kind of the clearness of the moves in the back of your head, so that you're not learning bad habits. But it is also completely possible to release all of that and start focusing more on energy. So in the same way that you can kind of focus more on just the upper body moving through space, right, and let the hands kind of just follow. You can also work on literally energy movement, right? So each move is actually propelled by a rising energy. And then what really becomes important is the fact that all the joints are open and all that. So you can't be so floppy that the hands are just kind of hanging like Tyrannosaurus arms. We want to have that openness in the back so that all the channels are open all the way to the fingers. But now you can start doing things where it's really about rising energy. That's what rises. And then this is sinking and connecting from the fingertips all the way down into the sinking leg. And that's the drawing of the energy into the ground. Right? Rising up. It's the energy that's rising. Back to the center. This is truly a centering, right? So it's not just I'm sitting down. This is going. When that bounce of energy rises up, that's what propels the press. And here the press can be completely gentle, and literally all I'm doing is I'm resting my fingertips on my wrist. I'm not even doing the full wrist bend, because this is what you would do in order to get the bones for impact. But if I'm doing this for qigong as a qi exercise, I just want my wrist to be as soft and gentle and open as possible. So I'm literally just resting my fingertips, and I want to have that contact, because one of the things about press is that you create that circle. But here, doing it as a qigong exercise, I'm going to be here and I'm going to rest my fingertips so I finish the conduit between the arms, right? So the form is still there to to influence and give you the structure of what's happening, right? So here, hands connect, hands draw in, hands separate. Because you want to have the shifting of the pathways of the energy, the shifting and the vectoring, like which direction is the energy going into, because that's the exercise. That's the Qigong kind of washing the energetic pathways, making sure the energy is moving fully from one side to the other, from one set of fingertips all the way to the toes, and the toes back up, all the way through. You want that complete openness. So you use the form as your structure, just make it nice and soft, right? And you just really focus on the energy rising. And then everything is soft and slow, but still open. Right? So when I come here, I want to make sure the shoulders are open, the space here. So when I drop here, I don't focus too much on, how far can my arms go. I just go, here. All of this is open. All of this is open. So the rising up is the energy bounces down and then comes back up, and that's what propels me forward. Very true. Right? So then you get a lot of energy flow. Right? And then as you get more and more comfortable with that, then you can, the more comfortable you are, the more you return to the very precise form, right? Because now the energy comes in, right? And then the shape as it comes back up, shapes it takes are again precise and clear. But that's because you've already done the work of working on all the pathways. You're comfortable bringing that energy up and expressing it now, right? In a clear, kind of pointed way, right? So, but before you do that, you can give yourself the freedom to just kind of experiment, just feel the different aspects of it. So feel the softness of the movement, right? But everything is open. The joints are open, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, the knees, the hips, the feet. So when you step forward, right? So that's why it should never look just like this. That's bad Qigong. So it's always going to have that expansiveness, the open back, right? The open elbows, wrists, all of that elevated. So you're never just slumped. So doing it small still has amplitude, still has openings. Right? Even if you're just doing for the energy. That rising energy still wants to express itself all the way to the fingertips. Right. So essentially make a choice before you start doing the 13 postures. You can make it halfway through, as you do the 13 postures, have a sense, are you doing it for just to learn the form, to memorize, to make sure you have all the bits clear? Are you doing it because you want to visualize the applications? Might have a better sense of, okay, what exactly are you doing here? Are you doing it to relax? Because the body's tight, so you just want to drop everything, right? It should affect how the form is done, right? Because if you're making different choices, it should affect the way the form is done. So, for example, the clearest is, how deep are you going? Do you need to go very deep or not, depending on what you're working on? You want to just work on softness, all right? Okay, so let's close off with Celestial Tiger. Okay, let's do Celestial Tiger. Feet parallel, knees bent, hips tucked, spine nice and long, neck is long, shoulders are relaxed. So I'm going to repeat this 3 times. And raise the hands. Hold. Palms down. Hold. So let's the palms up. Around the arms, palms out. Pointing up. Drop the arms up in the chest. Reach back. Oh, sorry. All the way up. I'm not here today. And drop the hands. And again. This time, hands on the belly. And feet together, arms to the side, spine vertical. And let's take it back. Class continues. But you have to go to hidentaishi.com to register and actually take the class. Ciao.